Gorgeous beings! The topic for this video is Awakening of Galactic Tribes. The code word that I use, or code expression code for this specific concept is Samagaya, Galaktikaya. Samagaya, Samga, maybe you heard that term before. You know, it's a Buddhist and Sanskrit term that simply means group of people coming together. So I modified it a little bit. I used the word Samagaya, Galaktikaya. I love it. Another term that I use is Nakshatraya Samagaya. Nakshatra is a star or star body in Sanskrit as well, and Samga is the tribe of people coming together. So basically it's the star tribe. So something is happening right now where this resonance that I've been talking about, you know, the galactic awakening that is happening on the planet and humankind, lots of people are gathering and coming together. Like right now, I probably have a dozen of friends, really close friends in my circle, and we're all kind of exploring the same kind of ideas, you know, alien life forms and what's going on this planet, on this universe. How can we upgrade the planet and humankind? How can we be of service? How can we raise our vibration, our frequency? And one of the core ideas is really to be able to function together as a tribe. You know, what are the communication patterns? How do you bring together a group of people and create high energetic resonance and use spaces like this one, you know, my space. This is Vital Gate. This is the name of this temple that I created. And within that space, we enter into resonance. So over the last few years, we gathered a tremendous amount of experience. And I started identifying what I call the Vital Gate codes. It means that these are the behaviors, the attitudes, the core values that you can anchor within a space like this one and with a tribe coming together to create a high degree of energetic resonance. And I realized that those codes or those behaviors, you know, they are a little bit like guidelines of how to relate to each other and the practice that you engage into. How do you communicate? How do you eat? You know, all these kind of things. And of course, there is a lot of flexibility. You know, it's not like rigid you know, guidelines and rigid rules like what you would have maybe in you know, in a Zen monastery, for instance, where everything is extremely structured, or other forms of monasteries. You know, this, we are talking about a space that is supposed to be opening freedom and creating resonance with the people who live together. And so this experience we have been gathering over the years, you know, it's a very powerful realization, because what happens when a tribe comes together and you start entering into practices, for instance, in this context, what we have been doing is having a 1 hour energy activation or practice in the morning where we, you know, we breathe, we shake, we sing some mantras, there is some physical workout as well. There are different types of practices that we have been diving into. And what I realize is that when we start practicing this together, eventually we enter in energetic resonance together, and we start merging our fields and creating a higher vibration than if we were doing that by ourselves. It means that we create a field of energetic resonance that we can then use and invest into our missions, sometimes our individual missions. You know, each one of us was launching businesses or having ideas, writing books, being creators, art. You know, there is a whole lot of direction that we were engaging into, and sometimes we have a common mission, which is like we synchronize that effort or that energy to then direct it and create something beautiful together. So all that is very experimental, okay? I don't come from a place or from a tradition where here I'm just following by the book something that other people have been writing. No, this is like a laboratory. We are, you know, galactic scientists and exploring the dimension of our consciousness to try to identify really how we can play with our minds, how we can play with our energies to create this deep sense of connection, energetic resonance, so that we vibrate at our highest possible frequency. So this is really powerful, and I'm really thrilled to you know, to have the possibility and the power to be in a place where I have enough space to be experimenting with all that. Another aspect which is really essential is the individual optimization of our lives. It means that when you come into a tribe like this one, and you come into a space where people have been vibrating together, you know, and really creating this resonance, what you have to realize is that if you come in that space with a lot of baggage, lots of unsolved things, lots of things that are not optimized, you feel shit about your body, or you get sick a lot, or you know, somehow your mind is extremely self-destructive, you're trapped in addiction, drugs and alcohol, or you know, you smoke a lot, or you're broke, you have no idea how to manage your finances and so on. So all that has to do with what we would call individual optimization, or life optimization, which is what I teach within the context of vital coaching, right? So the idea is to you as an individual, that you can raise your vibration and come to this place of optimization. It's very hard to start focusing on this whole galactic evolution, you know, and big story about humankind if we are still dealing with the basics of how to function as an individual. It means that if you don't have figured out the basics, the first step is to figure out those basics. How to treat your body, how to stay healthy, how to relate to nature, how to have harmonious connections with other human beings without systematically entering in conflict, how to be in harmony. Basically, you wake up in the morning, what is your state of mind? Are you trapped in shadow, self-destructive, self-limiting beliefs about yourself, or are you expanding in flow and in bliss? Okay, so when you start really vibrating at this frequency and starting to optimize your being, and then you come together as a tribe, and then what happens is that suddenly the vibration starts rising, and then you enter into this bliss or samadhi zone together, where the chakras start expanding, where the heart starts exploding in love for everybody who is there. You know, the creative energy starts expanding as well. And then suddenly we realize that as we enter in resonance with each other, we become each other's agents of evolution and you know, and channels for our expansion. And so there is, you know, there are protocols, there are ways of doing that that is going to really work. And I've been testing lots of different techniques. You know, sometimes another person comes into the tribe with new ideas. We are going to try that, you know, we are going to explore and experiment. But eventually I realized that there is a way to create resonance with a tribe. This is what I call the vital gate codes, or, you know, the resonance codes when it comes to creating you know, tribal activation. So I hope I'm not overwhelming you here. It's a lot, you know, to cover. This, what I'm saying right now, what I'm sharing with you right now, is the result of years and years of exploration and research. You know, I started living in ashrams and monasteries and spiritual centers, you know, more than 25 years ago. I was in Tibet when I was 20 in one of the core Tibetan monasteries over there, you know, watching what these kids were doing with their practices, how they were eating and how they were relating to each other. So it has been in my field for a long time, okay? So I'm not going to try to give you everything. I just want you to know that there is a way, there are ways to create energetic resonance as a tribe. And once you start identifying those patterns of communication, those patterns of behavior and attitudes, and synchronizing your missions together, your visions for the planet and humankind and for yourself, then eventually something magical can happen, which is what I call this energetic resonance or tribal resonance. When you hit that chord, you go like, oh my God, we are entering into the bliss zone. And so it's literally like a shift in frequency that suddenly starts happening, where suddenly your third eye starts exploding, and you know, your heart chakra starts vibrating really high. So very often it's a progressive process. You know, it's not something that happens suddenly. In my experience with the new tribe here, it would take anywhere between 1 to 3 months to start entering into that degree of resonance. But when it happens, you go like, oh yeah, that's just natural. You only notice the change once you go back into the world, and you go like, oh wow, something magical has been happening over there at that vital gate in this resonance with this tribe. And I must tell you that most of the people with who I have been living in the past in this kind of context, they become, you know, a spiritual family. It means that I feel them in my heart. I feel the love, I feel the connection and the depth of the beauty that we have been creating together. And you know, in that case, it has been for sometimes living together for months at a time. Sometimes it has been in adventures through nature, like one of the core resonance that I experienced was on a pilgrimage throughout the Himalayas. So this was a 10 days journey, and you know, when it hits you, it's like, oh my God, so much peace, so much beauty. So I want you to know that it works. I call that, you know, awakening of galactic tribes, but you know, that's just the context within which I put it, Nakshatraya, Samagaya. If you want to activate this code inside of you, start using this term, Samagaya, Galaktikaya, Samagaya, Galaktikaya, the, you know, galactic tribe, or Nakshatra, Nakshatraya, Samagaya, Nakshatra again for star, or star tribe. It's a powerful, powerful thing to envision and to start activating in your life. Get in touch if you're interested by all of this. I want to hear from you. Where are you? What's happening? How are you practicing all this stuff, and how are you experimenting with all that? Are you living with tribes? Did you have any experience about this entering into energetic resonance, even if it's just two people together, or as a tribe, you know, as a whole? Tell me more about your experience. I want to hear about you. I love you.